Hey, I'm Brandon, and today we are taking a closer look at the Scorpion EXO-T520 helmet. So the T520 helmet from Scorpion, this is going to be a great option for commuters out there. For those of you out there that might be logging some more serious miles, it does have the added benefit of an internal sun visor. Very easy to toggle up and down, and I like that benefit because you don't have to constantly change your shield. So if you're leaving early in the morning, sun is peeking out, perhaps you're leaving later in the evening, you can just retract that shield right into the shell. It's a really nice added benefit for this particular helmet to have. Speaking of the helmet, right? Polycarb shell, 3 shell sizes, a little bit interesting on the overall shell breakdown. We've got extra small to medium in one shell. Usually it's extra small to small. We've got the large in a single shell. It's all by itself. And then we've got the XL to 3XL in that third and final shells. So a little bit more unique overall when it comes to the shell breakdown. You're looking at an intermediate oval internal shape. I'm sure you're familiar with that. A bit more elongated front to back than it's going to be side to side. DOT and ECE certified. 3 pounds, 10 ounces in a size medium, so it's a little bit on the hefty side. If you're familiar with something like the R420 from Scorpion, that one was right at 3 pounds, 8 ounces, but keep in mind, you don't have an internal sun visor. So if that's something you're kind of comparing this helmet to, it's around the same price point. This is right at $200, but you do have that added benefit of the internal sun visor. But still, 3 pounds, 10 ounces, it's getting up there a little bit in the weight, but sometimes when you add those internal sun visors, it does add a little bit of extra weight to the helmet. Just something to keep in mind there. But as I mentioned, $200 price point, this will ship to you for free. Let's talk about some of the ventilation in the shell and some of the other things we've got going on here. So right at the front, you do have an active vent, so you can open that up. That is going to be a direct vent, getting that airflow moving through. And then you have one right here at the top as well, right just past the brow, right around the forehead area. And then you've got some exhaust vents here towards the rear as well. I think the ventilation, we could have used maybe a few more vents here. I think especially at the back, because it's really, you've only got it right there. So I think some more vents maybe on the lower part of the shell and the overall design would have helped create that Venturi effect, getting that air moving through the helmet and surrounding your head, allowing that hot air to escape and keeping that constant airflow moving. But I do like the overall shell design. I will say it's a little bit more on the sporty, a little bit more aggressive kind of styling to it, but a really great price point as far as, $200, really not bad for a DOT and ECE certified helmet that also has an internal sun visor that is very easy to manipulate. But I do have a little bit of a gripe with that. As you can see here, when I retract that, it kind of locks when it's retracted into the shell, right? But it doesn't really lock when it's positioned in the downward location. I wish it was just kind of locked and just had a little bit of a better feel. I like that when it's up, I can hear that click. I know it's retracted all the way, but that's just one of those little nitpicky things, and I don't want to harp on it too much, especially around this price point. You do have a center locking face shield, very easy to manipulate, even with a gloved hand there. Decent gaskets around there. I wish the shield was a little bit more flat, and optically correct. It's not bad, and again, especially considering this is only right at $200, I think they did a pretty good job with that. It's an anti-fog face shield, not a Pinlock ready face shield. So just something to keep in mind there over time that, usually in my experience, the anti-fog coatings wear off, but you can always get some more, spritz it up a little bit, and help prevent that from fogging up when you're out there riding. Moving into the interior here, let's go ahead and undo this. You can see double D-ring, little snap there to keep that excess strap out of the way. Very straightforward on the interior. This is going to be a quick wick removable liner. It's very comfortable, antimicrobial. You're also going to find that you have a chin skirt and a removable breath guard. Let me try not to break this as I wrestle it out here. I've been known to do that from time to time. All right, so we've got that slight contour with the overall shape. Again, that's the quick wick liner on the inside. It is very comfortable, especially considering this price point at $200. Usually the interior liners suffer a little bit when you're around this price, but I think Scorpion did a pretty good job with it for sure. Just got to wrestle it out of here. Some of those snaps are pretty strong. Now, the other thing I wanted to point out as I work out the headliner here is their Airfit system on the inside. Now, some people find that to be maybe a little bit gimmicky. I personally don't. I think it's very effective. I think it works really well. There's your headliner, very straightforward. But you can see the bags on the inside, right? So as you pump this up, the pump's right here just below that chin skirt. You can see that kind of red tab. Might be a little bit tough to see in camera there, but you just pump that up and that's going to create a bit more pressure around the cheeks and just kind of lock it in very nicely as you ride. I think it's really nice because if you're riding at highway speeds for a prolonged amount of time, we all know as you wear your helmets, as you sweat in them, you know, the interior liner kind of breaks in a little bit. It gets a little bit more comfortable, which is great. But if I'm riding at highway speeds for any prolonged amount of time, I want this thing to be nice and stable. So with that Airfit system, I can just pump this bad boy up and it's going to help maintain that stability. So I like that system. I've seen it in a few of their other helmets. I've used it before and I thought it was really effective. Again, especially at this price point, I like the additional versatility. But as I mentioned, removable chin skirt, you've got the removable breath guard in there, and you do have speaker cutouts as well. So if you want to throw in a Bluetooth communication system, you can certainly do so. Speaking of which, that's one of the last things I wanted to mention to you here. Over here on the side, they do have this set up to accommodate their EXO-Com system. It's a Bluetooth mesh system designed by Uclear. So that will sit right there, the main unit, and then they have another little spot right here at the rear. This pops off, and that's actually where the battery is going to go. So that is set up to accommodate that. You can certainly add your own Bluetooth system if you wish to do so, but if you want that low profile design, something that's integrated, that is the system that you want to utilize, and it is set up to accommodate that. Overall, at 200 bucks, I'm not too mad about it. 3 pounds, 10 ounces does feel a little bit on the heavy side, but considering I have an internal sun visor, you know, I've got a lot of creature comforts. I really do like the interior liner, and I do like that Airfit system. I think it's not a bad lid at this price point, certainly not. But of course, if you have any additional questions, click that info button. That's going to take you over to the product page, and you can always reach out to our customer service team. They are more than happy to get you pointed in the right direction. Thanks for hanging out with us for a bit and taking a closer look at the Scorpion EXO-T520 helmet. I'm Brandon. Keep it pinned.